Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a simple kedgeree. Super delicious, full of flavour and also just incredible comfort food. It might look like there's quite a lot going on with the pans, but the beauty about this dish is everything's cooked simultaneously, so we can just throw it all together in one pan at the end. The first thing we're going to do is just get our fish on, and you obviously traditionally use smoked haddock here. Just grab a new chopping board, which gives you an incredible flavour. I'm just going to chop this in half because my pan is not big enough. It's a cold pan, and we just cover it in the milk. Make sure you do it skin side up. About 500 ml of the milk going in, and then we're going to add 2 bay leaves and some cloves and just a grating of nutmeg. Then we're going to bring that to the simmer, just reduce the heat and leave it to poach for about 8 minutes, just till the flesh really falls off and falls apart. And the reason we cook it in milk is because of the fat content. Poaching it in water doesn't allow the flavours that you put into it to really infuse into the flesh. So while that's on, we are just going to make the base to our kedgeree, which is just white onions, garlic and ginger. They just get chopped up super fine, and then we saute that off with a little bit of turmeric and a little bit of curry powder. And then we add our rice, which has just been cooking as per packet instructions. If you are feeling a little lazy, you can use a packet in the microwave, same result. Take a pan, just a little bit of oil on the bottom. We need to sweat our onions off first, and then we'll add our ginger and garlic after about 5 minutes, just to ensure the onions are properly cooked. So kedgeree originated in India in the early 14th century, and it came over to England by the British colonists, and they introduced it in Victorian times as an Anglo-Indian breakfast, but now obviously it's seen widely on brunch menus, and it's a really enjoyed dish all over the country, and globally actually, and it is really one of my favourites. So while the onions are just softening and sauteing off, we can get on with individually poaching our eggs. Traditionally, a kedgeree is served with soft boiled eggs, but I personally prefer a poached egg, but it is all personal preference. But you can kind of, while in between steps, individually poach your eggs, and then if you just put them in a big bowl of iced water, and then just before serving, plunge them into the hot water again for literally 2 seconds just to reheat it, and that will leave the yolk beautifully runny. So I've just got my boiling water here in with a little bit of white wine vinegar, so that helps just to coagulate the proteins and ensures you don't get a mushy poached egg everywhere, which no one wants. And don't crack your egg directly in. Put it into a bowl, a nice whirlpool, and then we just drop our egg in, and that will literally take about 2 to 3 minutes. So the onions are beautifully soft now, so we're just going to go in with our garlic and ginger and cook that out for a couple more minutes. And it's important not to put your garlic in with your onions because it burns quite quickly. Good amount of seasoning, and this will help draw out the moisture from the onions just so they don't burn. I am also a real fan of the spice, so I love to add a little bit of red chilli in there. Also, the colours just look really beautiful against the orange of the turmeric. If you are not a fan of the spice, of course you can leave this out. Just ensure don't get any seeds in there because they do pack a good old punch. I'm just going to do half a red chilli. That just goes straight into the pan. Now we can go in with our spices. We've just got some curry powder and some turmeric. So now that the flavours are just all infused, and we're just going to add in our rice. So literally, as I said, within a matter of minutes, that has all come together. So we just take our fish out, and we're going to, don't want to break your fish up too much, so just peel away the skin. Then just literally break that up, and as you can see, it's so tender. And I also love to add just a little bit of the liquor just back in, as that has just all the beautiful flavours from the smoked haddock, and also just Gives it a real lovely gloss to it too. As I said, just break that up really gently with the back of the spoon. Then we take a good amount of parsley, just roll it all around like that, and just chop it super fine. And that adds a beautiful hit of green. And then at the last minute, we add this with our peas, which we've already just warmed through. And then a squeeze of lemon, and just a little bit of lemon zest, egg on top, and we are done. Smells phenomenal, and you can just see the colours just look so incredible, the contrasting orange and green and the beautifully baked fish. So this, just load it generously up into a bowl. Then we will take our poached egg. So like I mentioned, poached egg has just been in ice cold water, so we just plunge it back into the saucepan of the hot water, take it out, and that will just gently reheat it, dab it on a paper towel because Pimby wants a little bit of moisture. Just go straight on top, cracked black pepper, a little bit of extra parsley, lemon wedge, and there we have it. So simple, so delicious.